Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do a complete setup on this 2022 Player Strat, and I really like this combo. Just classic maple and white. Real nice. So I'm going to completely set this up. We're going to dress and polish the frets, and we're going to make it play very, very well. So come along and see how I do it, and hopefully you take something away. But before we do it, thank you. I appreciate your subscription. So let's get started. So already right away I can see a few things. The input jack is loose. This is going to rest on the body. That's how he wants it. Doesn't want the action too low. And here's where the nut is at. Probably look at that string. Wow, that string's, I don't know what happened to that string. Yeah, well, I'll test the truss rod before I do anything to see how it works, and we'll get these strings off and we'll get working here. The first thing I'm going to do is tighten the springs. Let's get this thing laying against the body. Okay, so it's sort of set. We'll fine tune it later. Now, for those who don't have a notched straight edge, what you can do is, this is what I used to always do before I got that. Lower it, just keep the two E's on, lower them down a bit, and if you notice the neck rest, you don't want the neck rest way down here, because that's going to help the neck to bow a little bit. You want to keep that up here. And just to get an idea how straight the neck is, use your straight edge, and that's a string. But don't put too much tension on it. So you can see there's a little bit of relief there. So then you could take your truss rod, tighten it up a little bit. Just a tiny bit. I'm just showing you how to do it in case you don't have a straight edge. That's pretty close, you know. So a little bit more. You don't, you just go a little bit. See how there's a tiny bit? If you just keep going, it should disappear. It's pretty much gone there. So that's pretty much a straight neck. So don't forget, the strings are straight edges. And you're just bridging the gap, holding down here, and using your common sense string. Listen to how dead that is. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I'm going to clean up this fretboard, then I'm going to mask it off. Can't get over how dirty this is. I mean, this is a almost new guitar. We'll just clean her all off before we start masking. And of course, the fun part, taping off the fretboard. Very important. I bought some thinner tape, so I wouldn't have to, the old way, I would slice the tape up the middle. I would go like this and slice it. So now I don't have to do that. I just wanted to kill a little bit of time by getting some narrower tape, and it's really making this a little faster. Okay, we got the straight edge there. And we'll put a little light behind it so you'll see. See how there's a little bit of light there? So we got to turn the truss rod. See if I can do this. Okay. See how it closed up? Closed up good. Go a little bit more. maybe another little bit. Probably just seeing some light through the tape there a bit. So that's about it. I'll take another, I'll sight it with my eyes. I think we're pretty close. It's resting on the thicker piece of tape, the tape that overlapped the other one. Like here, I'll give you an example, right? Man, I need another hand to do this. See, like right here? The tape's thicker here because it overlaps this piece. So of course you see a gap on the thinner piece and then you don't on the other one. So you got to take that into consideration when you're doing this. And take the time to cover the guitar up a bit. Don't just leave it totally exposed, because when you least expect it, you might slip. You want to have some protection over it, especially a customer's guitar. You don't want to turn somebody away because you scratched up their guitar, especially when you get into high dollar things. Here you can see a pretty high fret, see? Look at that. You'd think after all these years Fender would figure out how to get their frets pressed in all the way. But get that right in the light the right way there. You can really see it there. All right, now I've already crowned the frets, and what I'm using is a marker, and I've been liking doing the sides like this. And as you go, you just turn the sandpaper a little bit, and you're on a new piece of sandpaper. It's faster and it's really efficient. All right, we've got it up to 2000, so now we're going to do some polishing. Oh, it didn't stick. Getting this plastic off, or at least most of it. It's so long you can see it hanging out underneath the knobs. There we go. That'll look a lot better. Yay, 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 yay. I like the white on white Strat with the maple neck. Looks sharp. Lighten up a bit on the smaller strings. You don't want to break them. So I am going to be careful you don't damage the strings when you're adjusting the truss rod. I got to tighten this a bit. Okay. That's about where I like it. Okay. Now I gotta do the action. Where is my tool that I need? All right, now I'm gonna adjust the action. A little bit higher action is good, especially if you're like gonna go outside and sometimes there's air conditioning and temperature changes, and that's when if the action is too low, that can bite you because the neck can do like this weird shift, and I've seen that happen. It was on actually a Mexican standard Strat. I took it to Mexico and we came back from lunch. It did not want to play. Had to adjust the truss rod again. There's that balance. Camera is right in the way. Perfect. We'll set the trim and we'll be done. This is the worst part of a Strat. This crappy, wobbly. Anyway, I'm going to adjust it. Owner wants it on the body. I think it's perfect. I already adjusted it, but I'll stretch these out one more time. I'm gonna stretch those strings, man. Stretch them! But be careful with the smaller ones. Let's not go, you know, all Arnold on them. There we go. just touching the body. I think it needs just a little bit of tightening here. Just a little more tension. Okay. Try that. Yeah. I think it's done. Plays good. Okay, we'll pop this cover on and we will be finished. It's cool being able to set up guitars because I don't want to pay anybody to do something I can do. But it's cool to get paid. But even besides that, it's cool when you give somebody their guitar that didn't really play all that great. The action was high. The frets were all gnarly. And then you give them back a guitar that's like perfect. And the look on their face when they play a chord, it's like, wow, that's pretty cool. I do like that. So, that about wraps this up. I like the white on white with the maple. I think that James Marshall Hendricks had a Strat like that, all white. So there it is. All done. Frets are all nice and shiny. Action is, well, he doesn't want the action too low. I don't think it's too low. We'll see what happens, but it's higher than I would have it, so. That's it.